movie, which they broke into 2 films, you were only getting like a third of the book. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So what they're planning and what they're hoping based on popularity is they're turning it into a television series where you get the entire book.
I got you. So it's like a progressive novel.
Yes. And I want to say, and I mean, obviously this is just a rough guess, that I want to say that they want this to go for 8 years and they want it to every year be a different book.
Okay.
So that you can get the full experience. Because there's a lot of things the movies, because what I was doing was, a matter of fact, it may have even been last year. What I did was, it was 2 years ago. I read the book, and then after reading the book, I would rewatch the film.
Yeah.
Read the book, rewatch the film. And so when I would rewatch the film, I'm going, well, what about this? And what about that?
So you're a huge Potter fan.
What about this?
You're a Potterhead.
No, I absolutely am a huge one. I also, my son for his birthday this year, his first cousin, which is like his favorite cousin, she bought him a Harry Potter wand and a cloak. She, her dad, which is my son's uncle, made him 2 different wands in his shop. And they're beautiful. I mean, like he handcrafted these wands are gorgeous. And he did that. So this was kind of a Harry Potter one. And we still have the Hogwarts video game, which is absolutely stunning.
You know what?
It is stunning.
I had no interest in playing that game. I forget that I can get it for free on Game Pass.
You can.
And I think it's just for free now.
It is for free right now. It is absolutely stunning. It happens all before the movies. You even have the prequels, which the second one's but it leads up to everything. And they have also announced that with Harry Potter, they are also coming out with, I want to say, movies about the other characters.
Oh, so we're just really just squeezing the crap out of it.
Well, because here's what happens is a lot of times what you have is okay, look at it. Okay. We're talking about that, but you have the 2 movies that came out, It 1, It 2. The problem is they leave little nuggets that asks a lot of questions.
I gotcha.
Of, this isn't the first time that I've seen this. And so now the show Welcome to Derry, which is out on HBO. I think the new episode dropped on Thursday. I watched it last night. That is answering a lot of the questions about how the creature got to Derry.
It's a creature feature. Is that what it is?
Kind of. But now here's the here's the crazy
part. First thing, before you say the crazy part, is the quality as good as the movie? Because that's one thing that I hate. Whenever CW comes out with the show version of a movie series and the quality drops off a cliff.
The quality of the show is absolutely amazing.
Okay.
We are 3 episodes in, and they just teased Pennywise actually being shown for the first time.
We talked about Star Wars. We talked about Marvel. We didn't talk about any Marvel, but still, it's owned by the same people at this point, Walt Disney.
You want to do?
Do you think that those shows kind of changed the outlook of what TV is nowadays, where the quality of movies could be within a show just as consistent as how we saw it in the movie theaters?
So
I think they upped the game, and I think everybody has to stand up with them, and that includes HBO.
Well, I think that the quality has, because of the pay for pay services, is getting to the point where they're making so much money that they are benefiting off the quality of a lot of these shows. See, like Welcome to Derry, it doesn't obviously look like the movie, but the storytelling is tremendous. And what you're learning, this is kind of maybe a tease, but maybe also, if you don't want to hear this, you may want to turn your radio off in 3, 2, 1. One of the main characters in the show is a character from The Shining, and they're connecting the worlds.
Oh, I had no idea.
Exactly. Because one of the characters is, you remember in The Shining when the old man starts talking to the boys, like, my grandma used to call it shining.
Yep.
A younger version of him is in the Welcome to Derry.
Really? Okay.
And he even said it in one of the last episodes. Is like, I never knew somebody that could read other people's thoughts. And he goes, yeah, my grandma used to have a name for that. And it was
interesting, and it
so
sounded
they're
similar.
connecting the
Gotcha.
Stephen
Okay.
King worlds in the stories.
Okay, interesting.
So it does make it interesting because you're like, now you're starting to go, this is about to open up into a bigger universe.
No doubt.
So for a lot of this, you have these little nuggets that if it's a really good storytelling, they're going to connect all of the dots, but it's only good if you have, like your Star Wars, started with episode 4, 5, and 6 and not started with episode 1. Because then when you get to 4, 5, 6, and it's like, I wonder who Darth Vader is. You're like, dude, I already know this. This isn't even good. I don't even know why this is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you just watched it in order of release, those questions you have start to be answered throughout the other movies, and it makes it even better. Like my son, for instance, wants to watch like Spider-Man 2 and not focus on Spider-Man 1. And I'm like, whoa.
What? You can't just do that.
Whoa.
You can't just do that.
Exactly.
You can skip a film.
You can't, like the build up to all of this. Like now we're in this world where obviously we went through Endgame. Now we're talking Marvel. And so everybody sees the Captain America thing, the boom, like that. I'm not saying what it is if you don't know. Boom, like you get that.
It's been like a decade, Joe.
It has been.
It's kind of wild.
But now, for people that's already seen the boom, they go back and they start watching the other films and they're like, oh, well, I mean, this is not a big deal. I know what he's about to do.
So you brought up watching Star Wars in order. Do you watch it by the originals and then you watch
I watch
the prequels?
I watch it by release date.
You watch it by release date.
Because what it is they leave little nuggets that keep you interested in it. Like, again, I was watching, I went through the Conjuring universe during Halloween. I would go through the Conjuring universe. There's little bitty pieces and nuggets about, there's this figure I continue to see. There's this figure I continue to see. And so you're like, what the heck is the figure? Well, then like 2 movies into it, that's when the nun starts showing up and you're like, what the heck is this lady?
So
if you watch it in order of the year that's supposed to be taking place, the shock factor isn't there. And the intrigue is not there because you start asking the questions about, well, you already know the answers of, okay, well, cool. Who's the nun? Like, I know the nun.
But if I'm showing somebody brand new the movies, how would I want to show them?
Order of release.
Order of release?
Order of release.
All right, because that's what's happening after Harry Potter. We're watching the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, you watch order of release.
Okay.
Because the little Easter eggs and the little nuggets that throw in there, that is what entices you to go back and to rewatch what's happening. So again, the boom, that wouldn't be a big deal. If you've already seen Endgame, you don't understand how big of a moment that is.
No doubt. From
the very first Iron Man all the way up to the moment where Thor's about to die, and then boom, like, that's okay. Now this is a massive moment.
I feel like you might have thrown out other spoilers without throwing out that spoiler.
Well, no, I mean, I said Thor was about to die. He also makes, there's 3 other movies after this that involve Thor.
Either way, the shock factor of those movies is great. The shock factor of last night's game between the Eagles and the Packers was not too great. You were talking about all the connections of all these movies. There were not too many connections between Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love and their wide receivers. And I'm looking at this Packers team, and honestly, they proved me, right. I mean, how is their offense supposed to work with all of their talent beat up right now? Top wide receivers still out, waiting for Jalen Reed to come back. On top of that, Matthew Golden, a little bit shaken up, a little bit injured, wasn't really able to even play in this one, I don't think. And he wasn't a factor. On top of that, now you've got Jordan Love running around looking for a guy that's not Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, who is just not the same dude. He doesn't have the explosive ability. He's more of a blocker, whereas Tucker Kraft is an absolute beast. On the flip side, the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know what to think of this team right now, Joe. This is a team coming off of a Super Bowl win, and the way that they're looking against this Packers team, and I get it, the Packers defense has looked a little bit tasty ever since they brought in Micah Parsons, but I don't think that they're this good at defense. I want you to tell me, Joe, since you got to take a look at this game.
God.
What was the biggest problem about the Philadelphia Eagles? Why couldn't they get the touchdowns that they are used to seeing? Why couldn't we see a Jalen Hurts run outside of the pocket and pick up yards with his feet? Why was it this close of a game? And also, why are we only scoring 17 points in some of these primetime matchups?
Well, okay, so let's go to the first part of this.
Do it.
Saquon Barkley was held to less than 3 yards rushing every single carry. He finished the game with 2.7 yards rushing. Okay, he had 60 yards total rushing on 22 carries. Okay, that plays into a massive part of what this. Yes, I know Devontae Smith had a touchdown. Matter of fact, fourth quarter was basically the Alabama show.
It was the only drive that actually looked like
Yeah.
an Eagles drive, where you had Saquon Barkley go break for like 50 yards, and then you just toss it up to Devontae Smith.
One tight end that I loved in the draft, and he was not one that automatically comes on the field, kind of like what we're talking about with Warren and the way he's been playing with the Colts. But Grant Calcaterra, I have absolutely loved him from his story. He retired from the game, and then he came back because of, he retired out of Oklahoma because of concussions. Mm-hmm. He then comes back into, and I want to say he went to SMU, I want to believe, and he came out of retirement and goes and plays there. He doesn't get drafted. He's a free agent signing, and he was a tight end that at one point in time in college football was the number one tight end in the game. If it was not for concussions, he would have been the number one tight end. Last night, he goes over the middle, and runs a hook route. He turns around to make the catch. Jalen Hurts overthrows him by like 3 yards. And it's things like that where the chemistry and everything is not really right there. The biggest issue with Jalen and with this Philadelphia offense is two things. Saquon Barkley is a massive cog in this offense. And if he is not running well and teams are focusing on stopping him, then that's going to allow, especially if you can drop 7 in the box or out of the box, you can then start to focus on your Devontae Smiths, your Dallas Goddards, and those types of players. A.J. Brown still is nowhere to be found. Man had 13 yards receiving. I mean, he is still nowhere to be found. And I think that is also because of the coverages that teams are giving against him, because it's very similar to whenever we talk about the Ryan Williams and, how good would Ryan Williams be if Cam Coleman was on this team? Like, it's one of those. AJ's getting the double coverage, and Devontae Smith needs to make even more catches when the ball is going to be thrown to him. The biggest thing about this is that Philadelphia lives and breathes on the run game. As much as we want to focus on Jalen Hurts' throwing, his ability to command the offense and to get the offense down the field is the biggest cog for this. Saquon Barkley running the football, getting it to second and third and short, and then what do we get? You get the tush push. I think that the tush push in this is also playing a big factor, because with the way the NFL is now starting to look at that play, that was almost a given that they were going to get the tush push and get it for a first down. Now they're not 100% on relying on getting to that 4th and inches, 3rd and inches. And so the offense is having to play a little bit differently in this. Plus, it's just the fact that the Green Bay defense just had a great scheme for the way that Philadelphia was playing last night. That was honestly a very just hard-nosed, cold weather game that was really fun if you love watching offenses struggle because of how good the defense is playing.
No doubt about that. We do need to hop into a break, but if you guys want to jump in on the conversation, you can do so. 256-576-97-7. Brandon's already on the line. We'll get into a little bit of the college conversation in the next segment, as well as some more of the pros, as there's a lot to look at with that whole Brian Daboll firing from the Giants, as well as some baseball, because all of the bad that the Braves had this past season, there's only one good thing that comes out of it.
You had a positive.
That was one good thing.
Yeah, had a positive.
And on top of that, you guys will be able to win some tickets, at least get into the qualifying for some tickets thanks to Higher Echelon. You guys just need to get in on the show. We'll ask you a question relating to the Army-Navy game, and you guys got to answer it correctly, so stay tuned for that as well. We'll give you guys the question, get into a break, and continue from there. But this show, as always, presented by the greatest of people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, just look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. We'll take a break. When we get back, 256-576-97.7 is the number to get into the Blitz on 97.7. ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
Huntsville, get ready because Fight Night's coming your way November 22nd from the VBC South Hall with the CFC Rise of Champions. 16 blood-pumping matches, 5 featured title fights, and the most explosive MMA action in the Southeast. Get your crew together and reserve your VIP table or snag tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss out on the action. November 22nd, it's the Cage Fight Championships Fight of Champions.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Looking deep downfield, looking for Williams. Comes back, makes the catch, trying to split defenders, makes them bang into each other, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores! Ryan Williams, one play, 75 yards.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
John Abraham here with Bobcat of Huntsville. Men, the season is upon us. This is what all the playbooks have prepared us for. But here, there's no need for a 3-4 defense because we're not talking about the football season. We're talking about the get-done season. Starting August 13th, Bobcat of Huntsville will have a full line of steel products for you to throw at those jobs you've been putting off until now. So put away those fantasy draft notes and pick up the tool you've been waiting for because it's time to get it done. Bobcat of Huntsville, right off of Highway 20 in Madison.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Don't you wish that you had some secrets to help you get an edge on your business competition? Wouldn't it be great if someone could solve challenges at your company that you don't have the time or expertise to fix on your own? You know, there is a solution. Higher Echelon is a world-class consulting firm based in Huntsville that trains employees in sports psychology secrets to drastically improve work performance. Founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and has put that experience to good use. Higher Echelon helps organizations shave hundreds of hours off work time by improving processes, and Higher Echelon helps organizations save and make more money by walking them through technology updates and implementations. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to stay stuck. Higher Echelon is a trusted partner in organizational excellence. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com today to take your company to the next level. Go higher and go Army.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're going to be a little bit warmer tonight compared to the last couple of nights. Temperatures only dropping into the upper 30s and lower 40s. Plenty of sunshine for your Wednesday. We're also going to be much warmer Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-60s, dropping into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Thursday. We're in the mid and upper 60s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Listen to the Alabama Football Recap Show every Sunday at 11. Smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight sports talk. here on a beautiful and not cold at all Tuesday.
I absolutely love today.
It is a little cold. It is a little cold. All right. It's 32 degrees outside, Joe. It's a little cold.
It's amazing. This is the weather I absolutely love. I am here for it. I am all for it.
Why do you like this weather?
I love cold weather. I love snow. I love every bit of that. Matter of fact, the leaves are changing right now. And so in my office where at UAH, I have this humongous floor to ceiling window, and I'm able to look out it, and there's a massive tree right beside my window at Spraggins, and I've been watching it change color for the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
It is beautiful.
Nice.
I took my son and my one of my daughters is staying with their grandmother today. Turning onto their road, the entrance of where their road is that slushy leaves that are kind of all over the road type look to it. It's in the yard that's behind it has all these leaves in it. I'm like, this right here. This is my jam now. Now it's the best time of year.
I like the leaves when they're in the trees, though.
You want to know how great of a mood I'm in right now when it comes to this?
I don't know, 8 out of 10?
Today is November 11th. I've had a rule in my house.
It's also Veterans Day, by the way.
And it is also Veterans Day. Thank you very much, by the way, for all the veterans.
Thank you.
I have actually considered telling my wife that this weekend we can put up Christmas decorations.
I'm doing
I've considered it. I really genuinely have.
Doing it.
As we were talking, there's a Christmas tree. My wife wanted a new Christmas tree this year. There's a Christmas tree that she has wanted, a very specific one. She has searched all throughout the Tennessee Valley.
Is it real or fake?
It's a fake tree.
Dang it.
Yeah, I know.
What's happening to the real trees, man? It helps the oxygen inside the household.
It does, but we don't care about oxygen. It's not needed. And so she's been looking for this tree. She's been calling Home Depots everywhere, all this. She finally found the tree.
Yeah.
As we were sitting there talking about it just a minute ago. And so I was like, all right, go ahead and get it. I'll go nab it. And she's like, you don't need to do it now. She's like, we have until Thanksgiving. And I'm sitting here going, man, I've already conditioned our family to not do it. And even I'm sitting here thinking,
No, if you wait any longer, Joe, it's going to get to the point where Christmas season's just going to fly by. And you're not going to have the tree up for long.
We already started watching Christmas movies this past weekend.
Okay, now that's a stretch. Look, you can start drinking eggnog, but you cannot start watching Christmas movies.
The Grinch is already on Peacock. Every single version of the Grinch is on Peacock. That's right. Benedict Cumberbatch's version, Jim Carrey's version. By the way, if you have not heard the brand new "Where Are You Christmas" from the girl that sang it in the Grinch movie,
Where Are You Christmas?
She's turned it into a heavy metal song because she was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I thought it was about to be something goofy.
No,
she's doing dad rock now.
No, she's like a heavy metal girl.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
And so she starts it off with the original version, and then flips it.
Okay, I gotcha.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
Well, we want to flip some tickets your way, but of course you got to qualify for those tickets. And we will be getting to Brandon. We'll be talking a little bit of the pro sports. But Bama Brad wanted to hop on, and he wanted to actually give this a go. So, Bama Brad, how are you, my sir, my friend, my buddy, old pal?
I'm doing great. How are you guys this morning?
We are doing wonderful. All right. Look, higher echelon. Joe Ross, they gave us some tickets. Well, what were you saying?
I was going to say, first and foremost, thank you to all those that have served, are serving, have served.
1,000,000%.
Much appreciated.
No doubt about it. And appreciate you throwing that out there with the little bit of time we got with you. But Joe Ross and Higher Echelon gave us some tickets, all right? And we got to get people in the qualifying for it. And you wanted to hop on and give it a go. So we have a question for you. None of them are too hard. But, I mean, again, while we're all going about our day, it could be a little bit tough to get exactly every little bit of knowledge from the Army-Navy game inside of our brain. But I think this one will be pretty fun. Multiple choice. Are you ready, Bama Bread?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, let me get ready as well because I gotta. Okay. Now I'm ready.
Do you have your question? Because I have my question is ready as well because we never used it from yesterday.
Well, I'll use my question.
Use
today.
your question.
You can save your question for another day. All
right.
So here is the question. Army Navy have, some back and forth times throughout the years. But there have been some times where one team dominates the other for quite some years. So what is the longest win streak by either team throughout this very historic matchup? 8
14 by Navy.
Jeez.
I'm not there yet.
He says, I don't
A?
use multiplication.
8, B 18, or C 14.
Okay. This is what Regis would have done on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Would you like to phone a friend? Are you sure you wouldn't want to go with 50-50 on this? Like, this is like the $1 million question. You have all your lifelines and you're like, dude, I got this. This is easy. I've nailed this down. That's exactly what he just did.
How did you know that already?
I looked before I called in and got back.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, you know what? I can't dog a man for that one.
Look,
I can't dog the man for that one.
I didn't do it while I was on the line. I did it before I called.
Yeah, and look, we tried to do it the way. Look, I agree with the way that Grumpy said that Tom should have done it, where you give them it right on the spot. So then they don't have time to look. They have to do the research beforehand. But that wasn't it. It was a simple one. I'll give you that one.
I like the method on Talking Ball. Hey, can you ask that question one more time? I'm still thinking really hard on it.
Give me like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Let me just give me a couple more seconds on this.
All right, Bama Brad.
Obviously, I didn't Google it while you asked me the question. Hey,
no doubt, man. You were quick.
Speaking of the veterans thing, I don't know if you guys saw Sunday or not, but before the Bears game come on, the Fox crew was standing there with all the soldiers, and they did the national anthem, saluted them. Charles Woodson stood there with his hands crossed, like he could care less whether he's there or not. Absolutely disgraceful. Last night, Martha Parsons took time at halftime to walk around the soldiers, sign autographs, shake their hands, take selfies with them. That's how you respect the soldier.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And that stuff it's still going to be around, but again, you just got to look towards the people who respect them. And we respect you as well as respect all the veterans that listen to these shows.
Let me get my wacky underdog pick in here. Northwestern's already helped me once. They're going to knock Michigan out at Wrigley Field. Michigan cannot win at Wrigley Field.
All right. We'll get you in, Bama Brad. Appreciate it, brother.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Great stuff by Bama Brad. He was able to win the tickets for today. And last week, he almost won the game, Penn State versus Indiana. He put down Penn State. This time he's going Northwestern. We'll get him down for that. And everybody was pretty close except for anybody who picked Syracuse, including myself. But we continue on with the phone lines. We got Brandon on with us. Brandon, how are you doing today, sir?
Well, wanted to have a little bit of a discussion. I haven't watched a full NFL game or have watched it all since 19. I've got some opinions like your last caller. But that don't mean that I won't dive into some of the talk about the NFL.
Okay.
And so yesterday was one of, and I talked about this with Tom a little bit, one of the worst days I have heard the Falcons get beat on Atlanta radio in a long time, son. When I say they were opening up a can on them, it wasn't the coaches bad, it wasn't this, it was Arthur Blank's an embarrassment, sell the organization. Like, it's gone to where, like, they're all the way to the top with it now. And then it got brought up about who they would hire. Well, a guy called in and said, I think if I was a coach, I would rather coach the Titans than the Falcons, which set off a whole nother bomb about people in Atlanta talking about why the Falcons' job is better than the Tennessee Titans' job. And I'm of the opinion that until about 10 years ago, especially the recent 5, that it was a better job. But I'm not going to sit here now and say that Atlanta is that much better of a job than the Titans. Look at what they've both done in the last 10 years. There's about 4 or 5 games difference in what they've won and lost.
Yeah, no, what's bad is that when Brian Dable was fired, one of the stats that was given out about him was the fact that he, over the last 3 seasons, he has one of the worst head coaching records in the NFL, and the teams that is in front of him is the Titans, and I want to say the team behind him is the Falcons. I want to say that's the case.
Over the last 20 years, the Titans are 177 and 125, and the Falcons are 158 and 166.
And that's over how many years?
20 since 05.
So basically, after McNair is when everything kind of went downhill for the Titans.
Yeah, the Titans are 19 games better than the Falcons.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that was also counting the 3 years where, Vince was good for a little bit, CJ2K will rush for 2,000, and then next thing you know, you start going through 35 different quarterbacks like you're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and I made this comment
thank you.
Because I was looking at, Salini and Domino, and they were just dropping Randy Savage elbows all over Atlanta. And then the guy called in and said, I'd rather be the Titans coach, and it kind of went crazy from there. But Nashville was looked at as a second-tier city to me even 15 years ago. But you can't say that now. It's not as big as Atlanta, but it is no longer second tier.
No doubt.
And you can't look at them and say a coach would rather come here than there. I don't believe that. I believe Nashville is still on the come, but I don't really feel like they're second to anybody as far as around southern cities.
So this is kind of a double tier thing. Are you talking about the city in general, or are you talking about the actual football programs themselves?
Well, if you were a coach and you were evaluating both, how would you rank them? And I say that as far as the football goes, they're about even. And then when you look at Nashville, okay, Atlanta's bigger, but what can Atlanta really give you that Nashville can't?
So, okay. So again, for somebody I've looked at both cities and thought about moving there and all that. And especially even if I could ever get a job with the Braves, like, if I could get Barrett Sallee's job with the Braves, like that'd be like my dream job, doing pre and post game for the Atlanta Braves or being on the call for the Braves games. That would be the jam. But as far as a city is concerned, if we're looking from the city side of it, I would choose Nashville over Atlanta just because of the progress that the city is making. Now, if you're talking about entertainment factor, like obviously, yes, the music side of things, you're always going to have something to do there. Amazing shows. Bridgestone always has something at it. But, from a sports standpoint, obviously you would be looking at Atlanta, because even from a sports standpoint, you just get the Preds and you just get the Titans. Like, yes, and this year you could even say Vandy. But at the same time, Atlanta, everything in the actual city limits, you have everything imaginable that you could possibly want. You have, and I say city limits, like the county limits, but you're talking about, you have Braves, you have Hawks, you obviously have the Falcons. You can even look at, if you were wanting to go watch Georgia Tech play as far as football is concerned, that way. And that's just inside that. That's not even counting the drive to Athens and that. So that's where it's kind of like, it depends on what angle you're looking at it. As far as the franchise is concerned, maybe it's because I know way too much about the Titans, but I would even look at the Falcons and be like, I would consider the Falcons, just because I honestly believe that Arthur Blank is more intuitive as far as wanting to make the right decisions than what Miss Amy is.
I want to hop in on this as well, because of course the Titans are going to be getting a new facility that they're going to be able to play football.
Yeah, the ring is actually the ring is finished.
Yeah,
you actually have it looks like a stadium now.
Both of these teams are so similar in the history, the sadness, all of that stuff. With quarterbacks throughout the 2000s that had their controversies and all of that, and also teams that went to the Super Bowl back to back in the 1998 to 1999 seasons, and both of them have lost them. I mean, you're looking at a Tennessee Titans team that is a little bit more fresh, but has the same amount of heartbreak that an Atlanta Falcons team has. But still, I think there's a lot more growth to be had in Nashville right now than in Atlanta. And I see that, I see a coach that might want to head to Tennessee to try and pick that up, just because there is less competition when it comes to the professional sports down in the city. That's the way that I view it, at least.
The problem that I'm seeing right now between the two teams is I honestly look at the rosters of the two teams, and I like the Falcons roster more than I like the Titans roster.
Definitely more set up, yeah.
Like I genuinely do. Like it's one of those things where once the team starts to click, I think that the Falcons could be really good. The problem with the Titans is that you still have so many pieces that you're needing. I mean, look, I looked at John yesterday and I said, look, I'm happy that the Titans right now are looking to are in line to have the number 1 overall pick again. And the only reason is because I know a team like the Jets is going to want to trade up.
Yep.
And then you'd be able to get even more capital from that team if you possibly needed it. And I'm all for that. But as far as the Falcons are concerned, like they have got a lot of great pieces with them.
They do.
Like they look very much like the Titans did in 21, but with a younger quarterback.
Yeah, and you might not have to, work with that younger quarterback. Michael Penix, I feel like, is already kind of in the full swing of things in his sophomore season. Didn't get too many starts last year.
He's playing better.
But he is playing better. And we have seen some games where
Drake
he
London
showed out.
Drake
London's been absolutely ridiculous.
Well, you want to talk about a player that this thing has clicked for over like the last 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I don't know what happened, but it just automatically seemed like he walked in one day and finally just started to get it.
He is all 4 of the Titans starting wide receivers combined.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're looking at, minus the drop passes.
So what do you see out of the Titans that you would say makes it more inclined for Nashville?
Are you talking about for me or for Brandon?
For Brandon.
Brandon, yeah, go.
Affordability of living for one, which if you're a NFL head coach is not that big of a deal. But also you can get far enough out of Nashville to have that country feel faster than you can Atlanta, because the urban sprawl in Atlanta is almost to where I live 65 miles outside of Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
The Nashville sprawl isn't quite that big yet, but it's coming. In 20 years, it's probably going to be there.
Look, you used to drive to Nashville, like you would get to Cool Springs and then you would go, okay, well, this is the first part. And then you would go through some woods and some trees. And then you would then get to like the Harding Place exit. And you're like, okay, well, here's the next part. Those have now all just kind of blended together, that because it is kind of growing out even more in that. Now, it isn't as much as what Atlanta is, but it is getting there.
I feel like it is. I used to look at, like, back in the 90s when you looked at Huntsville and you looked at Nashville, they were small cities compared to what Atlanta is. Atlanta was the draw. But to me, Nashville is a pro baseball stadium away from being on par in a beginner's way to everything else. The money from the country people and the Vegas, that whole word changed the look of Nashville.
Well, I think that
when people
go ahead,
people call it Smashville and Nash Vegas. It's just in the last 7 to 8 years, incrementally, it's really gone up a lot in a short amount of time. And they're getting that new stadium. They're getting a lot of stuff, and they've already got a hockey franchise. They're just a pro baseball franchise to me away from saying we have arrived.
Well, how much do you look at this job and think about the rest of the teams in the divisions, though? Because that's probably the most important part. The AFC South right now looking a lot more competitive than what we're seeing down on the NFC South. And neither of them have been very good in the last few years, but the Colts are on a come up. The Buccaneers have been on a come up. But when you're looking at it, the Carolina Panthers aren't much of a challenge if you can get over that hump, if you can find your identity. The Saints haven't been a challenge in a minute. And up in the AFC South right now, the Titans are the bottom of the barrel. And I don't think they're going to be able to get above the Texans or the Jaguars anytime soon. And the Colts are already running away with this thing. So how much do you take that into account, as well as the growth of a city?
Well, I guess like Domino and them were talking about, and I sent a text in, and they responded to it.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying, who would you get right now if you decided you wanted to get a coach that has got good experience? And the Kiffin name got brought up, and they talked about Kirby Smart and why Kirby would be stupid to even consider it, but why Kiffin would be a prime candidate because he's got experience in both worlds. And if he left Mississippi for Florida, the people in Mississippi are going to hate him. But he leaves Mississippi and goes to Nashville, then they're not gonna hate him, and he could always go back.
So I was looking at it from
the I'm looking at it from the recruitment point of, if I'm Lane Kiffin, which city would I like better?
If you're
Kiffin, I think if I'm Kiffin, I think I like Nashville better.
Oh, he's a party animal.
Oh yeah, no. Trust me. Kiffin likes Nashville. Kiffin definitely likes Nashville. It is, I mean, it is like if you're Kiffin and you were, and let's just say that he's sitting in his office somewhere and he's got two folders in front of him, and one of them has the Falcons logo and one of them has the Titans logo. The Titans probably would fit Kiffin a little bit more than what the Falcons would, but that also goes into the city makeup itself. Like, you have, like, for instance, if you go to a Falcons game, you're the people that are going to be coming out on the field and donating, $500,000 to a charity is going to be Ludacris, Outkast, T.I., like those types of guys. And the fan base is that way as well. Like that's Atlanta. Like Atlanta, as much as people talk about the country of Atlanta is an urban rap city. Like it just is. And so that's the reason why they gravitate more even to the Too Legit to Quit uniforms. Like that's the reason why the Falcons went to the ATL on the front of their jerseys instead of Atlanta. Like they were playing into their old urban culture, which is very thick and it is beautiful, to be honest with you. If you learn about it, how much that urban culture is, especially from what Martin Luther King Jr. did in Atlanta to everything else from that is what Atlanta is. It's also the reason the Braves moved out of the city of Atlanta. If you also then look at Nashville, though, it's like Ryan Seacrest and Carrie Underwood are coming on the field. Now,
Theo Vaughn. No, you got to throw in Theo Vaughn.
Like this happened during one of the games that I was working. Is there like now, if you look into the south end zone, Ryan Seacrest and Carrie Underwood and Luke Bryan are standing there. Now, I wasn't starstruck, but if Katy Perry would have been there, I might have dropped my mic and just ran over and hugged her. Okay, I would. But I'm just saying, like, they're two different cities. And so Nashville would gravitate more towards Kiffin because he is very much a Nashville. He has that Southern Nashville feel to him.
I could just see him on the boulevard,
Well, no, trust me. The Broadway and Kiffin, that would be a match made in heaven. Whereas Atlanta wants an edgier coach. Even look at it through the past and some of their other coaches. Like they gravitate more towards the rough type of coaches that have that little edge to them. Kiffin has an edge in a different way.
Well.
Like Kiffin has a different type of edge to him where you could see like a former player, like the guy that was interim for the Raiders. That was the former player.
Morris?
It may be like no. He's already been a Falcons head coach.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Those types of guys, the ones that will embrace the city a little bit more is what I'm trying to say. And there's nothing wrong with the way the cities are. It's just that's the demographic. And that is the way that if you want your team to be embraced by the city, that's the reason why you get Luda and you get T.I. to rock your jerseys and you get all of that, because the Atlanta heritage, a lot of those guys would look more towards the Falcons than what they would the Braves.
Antonio Pierce.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Well, I just looked at it from the standpoint of they think they can just go out here and get whatever coach they want. And I think Huntsville is where Nashville was 20 years ago, but coming real fast. But Nashville has at that point where they just need a couple of little pieces to say, we are now a big city in the South and we can compete with anybody. And I look at that and I say, I would take the Nashville job with the Titans before I would take the Falcons job. No. And then I got to ask the question, which one was worth 28-3 or a yard short? And I told him, I think a yard short.
Oh, no, 28-3 is worse.
Well, also, you have 2 Super Bowl losses compared to the 1 Super Bowl loss for the Titans.
Look, that game for the Titans, I mean, that was back and forth the entire time. Titans had to make a comeback in the second quarter.
But you were this close.
We got a row.
Yeah, we appreciate that. The conversation's great, but you were this close though from getting a touchdown and winning that Super Bowl.
Well, it would have been a win. You would have gotten to a field goal away from going into overtime, and Al was not going to miss that kick. But that was one with the way that McNair drove down the field in that game, between the scramble and then finding Dyson where he did. Like that was heartbreaking. You had the city of Atlanta. I guarantee you the mayor's office was already halfway through their celebration meeting about, okay, so where's this parade going to be? How are we going to do it? And then somebody goes, gosh, you may want to look at the TV.
Yeah, they were popping the champ, and then they saw that the score was going up for the Patriots.
Yeah, it wasn't one touchdown. You were up by 25 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't happen much.
That's totally different. Yeah, 28-3 is much worse.
No doubt about it. We got to hop into a break, though. When we get back, the Atlanta Braves, not the Falcons, almost threw them out there, had a little bit to be excited about.
There's also the thing that Brandon talked about where the city of Huntsville is growing. There's a few things that need to happen before we could start saying that Huntsville is growing to what he is thinking it.
Yeah, Nashville's a different level right now.
But there's a reason for it, and I'll have that answer for it when we come back as well when we continue on the other side. 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama hosting Oklahoma at Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday. The Crimson Tide bet down from a 7-point to a 6.5-point favorite, 45.5 the total. North Texas laying 18.5 at UAB. UL Monroe plus 4.5 at home against South Alabama, 51.5 the total at Malone Stadium. Kennesaw State bet up to a 3-point favorite at Jacksonville State. Atlanta Falcons laying 3.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. College basketball today, Auburn Tigers laying 25.5 at home with Wofford. North Alabama 5.5-point home favorites against Northwestern State. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
You guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Need tough equipment you can count on? Christopher Equipment has you covered. Whether it's air compressors, trenchers, bucket lifts, concrete tools, generators, skid steers, and more. Serving you with locations in Tullahoma, Shelbyville, Manchester, Fayetteville, and Hazel Green. Christopher Equipment. From job site to backyard, rent or buy, Christopher Equipment delivers the tools you need when you need them. Call 931-455-3900 or visit Christopher.equipment today. Christopher Equipment, powering your project.
Does it really matter which dealership you buy from? Short answer, yes it does. Hello, I'm Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford. Before you buy, take just a minute to check out the dealership itself, because where you buy can make all the difference. Sure, customer reviews tell you what others think, and that's good. But when Ford Motor Company itself recognizes a dealer, that's something special. Woody Anderson Ford has earned Ford's Triple Crown Award, an honor achieved by only the top 1% of Ford dealers in America. It's based on superior customer satisfaction, sales excellence, and exceptional service performance. In other words, the best of the best. So when you're ready for your next car, truck, or SUV, come see how we earned our Triple Crown status. Superior service, sales excellence, over-the-top delivery, that's Woody Anderson Ford. And we hope to see you soon.
Don't you wish that you had some secrets to help you get an edge on your business competition? Wouldn't it be great if someone could solve challenges at your company that you don't have the time or expertise to fix on your own? You know, there is a solution. Higher Echelon is a world-class consulting firm based in Huntsville that trains employees in sports psychology secrets to drastically improve work performance. Founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and has put that experience to good use. Higher Echelon helps organizations shave hundreds of hours off work time time by improving processes. And Higher Echelon helps organizations save and make more money by walking them through technology updates and implementations. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to stay stuck. Higher Echelon is a trusted partner in organizational excellence. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com today to take your company to the next level. Go higher and go Army.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. It's going to be a chilly Veterans Day across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, though, with plenty of sunshine. Temperatures only climbing into the upper 40s and lower 50s. We are going to be warmer as we head into the overnight. Temperatures dropping into the upper 30s, lower 40s. Plenty of sunshine for your Wednesday. We are back into the 60s across the entire Tennessee Valley.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your home from Madison Academy football is on the Mustang Zone.
Looks right, tosses it, wide open, touchdown Mustangs. There on the reception, Zion Williams on the wheel route, and that's 6 on the board there for Madison Academy.
Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
A little bit of time before we hop into the second hour. Get joined by Ike Jones from the War Rapport.
Jones.
Hello, Ike Jones. He's going to tell us a little bit about what the hell's going on with these Auburn Tigers. Because, hey, they looked pretty good this past weekend, but there's still a lot of questions, especially around who's going to be coaching them next season. Because we don't want it to be Durkin. We really don't. We love the guy as a defensive coordinator. As a head coach, I think we could maybe find somebody else so he could focus on the stellar defense.
I will tell you that John Cohen apparently was at an event yesterday in Birmingham, and he even said that his ultimate goal is to have a brand new head coach hired and announced the day after the Iron Bowl.
Well, the best thing about getting Ike Jones on is the War Rapport is going to be having a very, very fun interview with John Cohen on their site just moments after we get done with him. So we'll get a little bit of that 1-2 punch from Ike Jones. And then, of
Lane
course,
Kiffin's name is going to come up
a little bit more. I don't think so. I think there's too many other jobs. Well, no. You know what? It's going to come up. He's everywhere.
He's got to coach 7 different teams. That's a lot of recruiting.
Golly. We need to have like a whack underdog pick.
He's going to be UAH's
where
football
he's going to go.
next.
I wish UAH had a football
No, I'm
team.
just saying. We don't even have a team, and he's going to be the head coach of it.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We are a championship school, and school is in session.
And the clock's going to run out, and Bama's going to win it. And for the love, let's get out of here.
Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide welcome the Oklahoma Sooners to Tuscaloosa. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional, in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Does it really matter which dealership you buy from? Short answer, yes it does. Hello, I'm Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford. Before you buy, take just a minute to check out the dealership itself, because where you buy can make all the difference. Sure, customer reviews tell you what others think, and that's good. But when Ford Motor Company itself recognizes a dealer, that's something special. Woody Anderson Ford has earned Ford's Triple Crown Award, an honor achieved by only the top 1% of Ford dealers in America. It's based on superior customer satisfaction, sales excellence, and exceptional service performance. In other words, the best of the best. So when you're ready for your next car, truck, or SUV, come see how we earned our Triple Crown status. Superior service, sales excellence, over-the-top delivery, that's Woody Anderson Ford. And we hope to see you soon.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane, the best pregame fan fest in college football. For more information, visit championslane.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Tuesday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we'll be joined by Alabama defensive end Keon Keeley.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive line is, I might be biased, but I think it's one of the most, if not the most close-knit group on our team. I mean, that might be my biased opinion. I'm the D lineman, but I think it's just a big brotherhood in there, but also a big thing is holding each other accountable. I think the room is extremely, big on accountability. And, if you got this gap, you got to keep that gap. And if you got that gap, you got to keep that gap. You can't have the mindset of, hey, I have the C gap, but I know the running back's going to come back to the B gap. So I'm just going to say whatever to my job and get the B gap. No, because now you go to the B gap. Now that dude bounces out, he's gone. Or now you go to the B gap, but your teammate's also in the B gap.
I'll have more in a moment.
Tide fans, are you ready for game day in Tuscaloosa? Don't miss the ultimate pregame experience this season at Vector Security Champions Lane, opening 4 hours before each home game. This fan fest has everything you need to get pumped for kickoff. Located next to the Walk of Champions, you'll enjoy live music, player autographs, the best food trucks from all over Alabama, and ice-cold beer in our Legends Lounge beer garden, where there's never a cover charge. Check out championslane.com each week for the latest updates. Roll Tide!
If you missed last night's episode of Crimson Tide Rewind, catch it on demand on the Alabama Insider podcast, available on all podcast platforms, as well as a video replay on the CTSN YouTube page. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Vector Security Champions Lane. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Alabama hosting Oklahoma at Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday. The Crimson Tide bet down from a 7-point to a 6.5-point favorite, 45.5 the total. North Texas laying 18.5 at UAB. UL Monroe plus 4.5 at home against South Alabama, 51.5 the total at Malone Stadium. Kennesaw State bet up to a 3-point favorite at Jacksonville State. Atlanta Falcons laying 3.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. College basketball today. Auburn Tigers laying 25.5 at home with Wofford. North Alabama 5.5-point home favorites against Northwestern State. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're going to be a little bit warmer tonight compared to the last couple of nights. Temperatures only dropping into the upper 30s and lower 40s. Plenty of sunshine for your Wednesday. We're also going to be much warmer Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-60s, dropping into the mid-40s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Thursday. We're in the mid and upper 60s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today. 97.7ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
All right, here we go. Second hour, final hour, best hour, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and the Blitz. Joe Hunk, John Abraham coming up. At 10:20, Ike Jones is going to be joining us. Talk about the Auburn Tigers' massive matchup with Mercer. I'm just kidding. We're not talking about that.
I can't wait to see those Bears come in and get clobbered.
You know more than I do. I didn't even know they were the Bears. So Mercer is coming to town, but all eyes are obviously focused on what's going to be happening in a couple of weeks, as a matter of fact, because they're off this week, but they play Mercer next, and it's now 3 weeks away from the Iron Bowl. And I think that after the way Alabama fans watched Auburn play Vanderbilt, it's like crap. It's one of those like, dang it, I thought this was going to just be like not going to worry about it. We're just going to go about. Now it's a son of a gun. They're at least playing somewhat better.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those types of situations. So we'll talk to him about that. Obviously, the head coaching search, and apparently John Cohen is letting people know that his goal is to have a hire by the day after the Iron Bowl. That's what he would like to have happen. Said that he has already spoken with 7 to 8 sitting coaches right now. No formal interviews, obviously, but just he's already spoken with 7 to 8 coaches. So that is coming up. You also do have a lot of basketball happening tonight. I mean, a lot. Auburn is playing Wofford. That game's going to be on the SEC Network at 7, but then the rest of the games happening tonight are all ranked matchups.
Mm-hmm.
You have Louisville and Kentucky going at 7 on ESPN. You got Illinois and Texas Tech going at 7:30 on FS1. If you want to stay up late, you've got Gonzaga and Creighton going at it at 9 o'clock.
What a good game.
That's a 23-21 matchup. Texas Tech is a 10-17 with Illinois, and Kentucky and Louisville is a 9-11 matchup, which actually I believe that's actually grown because I wrote this down before the new AP poll came out.
Mm-hmm.
So those numbers have changed because Auburn was 20th in the country. They're now 22nd in the country because I wrote this down yesterday.
No.
So all of those games are going to be happening. Then you also have the college football playoff poll that's supposed to be coming out tonight. I am assuming that that's going to be one of those, hey, we're going to be doing this during somewhere in between one of these matchups so that you have to watch the basketball games type deal. Before we also get going on some other things that are going on, get into your phone calls at 256-576-977. Coming up on Friday, I was talking to one of the UAH coaches about this upcoming Friday because you're going to know because Scott Tyson is going to be kind of out of the box a little bit this weekend, and that's because the GSC Soccer Championship is going to be taking place over at John Hunt Park at the Loretta P. Spencer Sports Complex, which is two beautiful fields. They're artificial surface. They have fantastic bleachers that everybody can be sitting at and watching. But the reason I bring this up is because Scott and I were talking yesterday, and this is the first time since he has been doing stuff for the Huntsville Sports Commission and for the GSC that UAH has made it to the semifinals and we will be playing in this tournament.
There you go.
The men are going to be playing at on Friday. That game is going to be at 3 p.m. On Friday, and it is going to be against the number 1 team in the Gulf South Conference. It is going to be a 5-1 matchup, and the UAH coaches were asking if we could get the word out so that more fans can show up for this, because the amount of fans that have made their way to Charger Park for a lot of these soccer matchups has been fun. Having the soccer field on campus and a lot of the lacrosse players, basketball players, and even some of the fraternities and stuff coming over has made it a really fun atmosphere over at Charger Park. And so now with this happening at John Hunt, right down the street from, where we're even located, it's going to be one that, 3 o'clock, it gets you, if you want to get out of work or anything like that. Tickets are going to be $10 for adults, $5 for kids. And you can come over and watch some fantastic soccer and see if the Chargers can make it to the finals for the first time in a long time.
Definitely should be keeping that on your radar, but also remember that UAH basketball is getting going this weekend as well as they start the season against Nova Southeastern. Always love it.
Screw Nova.
Always
why do we got to start this again? Like, why do we
you
have
got
to
to
do
always
this for a second
start
year in a
off.
row?
You always need to start off against Nova, all right?
I mean, it's
this
the second
is the
year
team
in a row.
I know this is the team that you need to beat when it comes to the end of this
No,
season.
because it's going to piss you off even more. Look, you played them twice last year. They're the ones that bookended the season last year. You're starting the season off this time back in their arena. Honestly, I was looking up the other day. I can't remember the last time Nova actually came to Huntsville to play in a game.
We should get them down here.
Because normally it's like a neutral site game,
Yeah.
like they played at Montevideo last year, and obviously they played the the Elite Eight game was a quote unquote neutral site, but it was at Nova's Arena. Yeah, it's not really neutral.
They always do that.
And then so Steve is going to be heading out on that. He's going to be leaving with the basketball team on Thursday to go down to Nova and go down to the beach with that one in Fort Lauderdale. And matter of fact, that's the reason why I am actually going to be the one heading to Anniston to be doing Madison Academy football
There you go.
this weekend as well. So
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And it's because he only needed the play-by-play guy. Trust me, I asked him about that. Yeah. I mean, if you want to come and you want to do sidelines or something, I mean, again,
how long is that 2 hour drive? 2 hour drive?
How long is the 2 hour drive? It's 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah, 2 hour drive means 2 hours. Yeah. 2 hours and 4 minutes if you want me to be precise.
To some people. I mean,
Dude,
Tokyo Drift himself would take, he'd go down there in 1 hour.
Not through 431 trying to get to Anniston. Like, that
Okay.
is an absolute
You
nightmare.
underestimate Steve, huh?
I mean, unless you're talking about we start getting into the later Fast and Furious where Luda can get there in the space shuttle that they build out of the car.
I never watched that one. I thought it was the jumping the shark moment.
Yeah, it may
It
actually
took me 8-9 movies until they finally jumped the shark.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
Take me back to when they go to Japan.
No,
that was the best one.
Screw the Japan one. That's the worst
That was
episode.
that was the best
That
one.
was the worst. That's the worst movie that
Why
made.
is it the worst one, Joe?
You didn't even have the main characters in it.
You didn't need it. Was a spinoff. It was a side story.
If it's a spinoff, it wouldn't be part of the actual number that you're counting.
They did count it.
See, it doesn't even have it. It's like Halloween 3. Nobody talks about Halloween 3. Halloween 3 sucks. That's it.
It doesn't matter if it had the characters or not. You needed a break.
No,
you needed a
didn't.
breath.
No, because that would have meant we got one more movie with Paul Walker instead of getting it with Decatur Boy.
We got the guy that eats chips. What's his name? He was in Japan.
You're talking about
He flips over the car. He blows
the
up.
guy they thought was dead until like an episode of a movie ago.
Was it Juan?
Yeah, I don't know what his name was.
I don't want to.
Okay, you weren't talking about Tyrese.
Don't want to guess anymore.
See,
either way, the show, as always, brought to you guys by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Unlike my knowledge for Fast and Furious, they got you covered for all of their knowledge on your roofing needs. So just look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. Fill out your free quote today, and remember that Fleming always shows up. But Joe, we were teasing it for the entirety of this show, and I finally want to touch on it. The Braves obviously had a terrible season. All right, everything that could have went wrong pretty much went wrong. Injuries, play calling, losing just left and right.
But that's things going wrong when you're losing.
One thing went right, and that was one Mr. Drake Baldwin.
Yeah, you actually got at least somebody out of Drake Baldwin that, you were seeing him and Sean Murphy kind of go back and forth when it came to the DH and the catcher's position in that, which allowed Baldwin to get a lot more hits, especially when there was times where Ozuna was out, and ended up yesterday being named the NL Rookie of the Year, and is one that honestly you look at it and you go, wow. There was a real period of time where like Braves winning Rookie of the Year was unfounded. Like, yes, we know about what happened with Chipper in 95, but between Rafael Furcal, you have obviously Ronald Acuna Jr., Michael Harris, like the Braves have started to really get a lot of these young talents and be able to build them up in that facet on the offensive side. Now you kind of need the defensive side to be going on, because Drake Baldwin is going to be a key piece of this. I think it's going to be part of the reason why the Braves are going to be kind of okay getting rid of a few other guys, because Baldwin's going to be able to kind of step in with that. And it also wouldn't surprise me if at some point in time he started learning how to be the backup first baseman for Matt Olson, so that if Olson were to unfortunately go down for an injury, that Baldwin could go over there, play first base. Sean Murphy could still be catching, and the lineup would kind of remain roughly the same, obviously, with that Matt Olson. But Dre Baldwin was an amazing player for the Braves, where this was being talked about like in July and August, and people went, no, they're not really thinking about this. And
what really made him amazing? Like, I get it. He had to step up whenever the players got injured. He had a very consistent season, but at the end of the day, he really he looked like a good fundamental piece. He didn't look like he was doing anything wild.
It's very hard for a rookie to go from the AAA level to the major league level, break into the starting lineup, and then also be productive.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he only had 19 home runs.
Only.
But he had 80 RBIs. Like that's the other thing. He had 111 hits. Like he batted 274 as a rookie, still trying to figure out the league. And I think that this is something that he's going to have to deal with in his second season, because now he's going to have film and pitchers are going to be able to kind of study him a little bit more. You know, you started hearing things about that with like Bo Nix in the Denver Broncos. They're like, oh, you know, maybe he's not the quarterback we thought they was. No, it's just that teams have a year of footage on him. And so now he's going to have to make adjustments, grow, be even more patient at the plate, come into certain situations. But the other parts is there were times where he was just clutch. Like Drake Baldwin getting a hit at times almost felt like a certainty later on in the season in a team that didn't have many certainties to begin with. And so between going from DH to catching and back and forth and taking a day off and everything, he was still able to put up the stats he has. It was a tremendous season for him. And it's a bright spot for the Braves. Obviously I honestly look at him as potentially the backup to Matt Olson. And eventually if the Braves were to ever move away from Matt Olson, it would be to go with Drake Baldwin, because a lot of times, unless you just are dying to catch, you're going to spend as little time behind the plate, the more valuable you become as a hitter. That's why with what happened with Cal Raleigh is such an amazing thing, because most catchers do not have the ability to be both a tremendous catcher and a tremendous hitter. And what Cal Raleigh did this year was absolutely outstanding. And I think that there are very far and few between players that can play catcher and be a solid hitter at the same time.
Yeah, and on the other side of the country, on the other side of the league, and Nick Kurtz gets the AL Rookie of the Year unanimous winner, as he had 36 home runs, 86 RBIs, and 122 hits, hitting 290.
All in Sacramento.
This kid was a stud.
Oh, no, he was a stud. It was also
beast.
one of my favorite cards to get on MLB The Show. Like I loved playing as him. He's just fun young hitter that was obviously another one of those young finds for the A's, because that's what they do.
This one out of the ACC from Wake Forest, whereas, of course, Baldwin coming from Mississippi State in the SEC. So still all the love from the South, but, you know, they get it out there in the West.
Wake Forest is becoming a baseball power because of the science that they are starting to utilize inside the baseball program with the devices as far as the science is concerning, with being able to figure out how pitchers can pitch better. And with the way that batters are able to hit better and look at their swing and everything, they're using so many new computer programs that some other baseball facilities and even sports facilities don't even have. There's a reason why Wake Forest has started to win a lot more in college baseball. And it is because of what, you know, John called in the first hour, the nerds are starting to dive into this universe that is baseball, and they're starting to help baseball figure out how to be better, which is what Wake Forest is looking for. Also, Moulton, thank you for that, so I didn't have to look it up. Nova, who UAH plays coming up on Friday, has not played in Huntsville in 15 years.
How does this make any sense?
They have not played since 2010. That's the last time that they traveled and played here in Huntsville.
I'm trying to – no, yeah, even that doesn't make any sense, because you can't – even if you are the best team going into the tournament's still being held at Nova.
Well, it's –
I'm trying to understand how the whole
because
works.
what it is it has to do also – it's very much like a lot of the other sports is – say like with volleyball, we talk about if UAH finishes the season number 1, then they are going to be the host site for the GSC tournament. Nova was number 1 in the South region. So that's the reason why they were the number 1 team in the South region. Gotcha. UAH was number 2.
Dang.
So
and UAH, I think, came into that game with the better record.
Yeah, because they'd only lost 1 game to Nova, and that was at the very beginning of the year.
Yeah, and compared to
they
Nova,
were like a 32-game winning streak.
Nova lost like 2 games throughout the season, and that was the difference. 1 game, but that's all it takes. For Auburn, it's a bunch of games. It's also a long list of coaches, and we'll be talking with whoa, Joe, what is going on with that Hawk?
Hawk is down. Yeah, Hawk is down. That's why I'm wearing the hat today.
Hawk is a little flat today.
The Hawk
you caught me off guard.
Flat. No,
it is. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you out on your Hawk.
No. It's okay. Hawk is down today. If I could have found all my other Havoc stuff, I would have put the Hawk up.
Yeah.
But I only have I was able to find my Havoc hats.
Okay. Well,
so that's the reason why I have the hat on today.
Do you think the Hawk's going to be up whenever it comes down to the Huntsville Iceplex tonight when we're doing the Havoc Hour?
No, because I still don't know where the Havoc stuff is. This is what I'm wearing to the Havoc.
So you're literally
hour.
wearing the hat.
Yeah,
I can bring something out for you so that the
good.
Hawk could be up.
No. I try to wear something Havoc every single game or every single show, and this just happens to be it.
Thought it was an excitement thing. The Hawk goes up. You're excited for tonight. It's fine.
I mean, it does go up when I'm excited for certain things, but tonight we've got it covered. It's kind of wrapped tonight. We're not letting it get up.
It's always good to have protection.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why we're doing is because, so many people just kind of want to come on and just rub the head a little bit that I've got to make sure that I have protection on. 256-576-4977. Ike Jones when we come back on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. It's very smooth, too. It's not dry at all.
I'm going to come over there. I gotta give it a touch.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch the Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bag compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
At Stella at 5 Points, living isn't just about having an apartment, it's about living artfully. Imagine waking up with the upscale feel of Atlanta or Nashville right here in the heart of Huntsville. Modern, stylish apartments, open layouts, stainless steel appliances, and resort-inspired amenities. Nestled in vibrant 5 Points, you'll enjoy walkability, parks, dining, and quick access to downtown without the chaos. Stella at 5 Points. Live artfully. Live Stella.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
This is your home for Alabama football.
Looking for Williams. Comes back, makes the catch. Trying to split defenders. Makes them bang into each other. Stays on his feet. Breaks a tackle. Scores. 4 + 2 = 6.
This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Told you my head was baby smooth.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It was.
Feels like a turkey that you're gonna have for Thanksgiving. That's what it felt like.
John spent the commercial break rubbing my head.
No, one slight brush.
It doesn't matter. You did it.
I was like, this feels like a turkey.
Well, gobble gobble. I mean, we've got Thanksgiving coming up too, by the way, which is happening in about 14 days.
Wow.
It is.
Wow.
Isn't it?
What the heck? We're 11 days into this month already?
Yeah. That's in 14 days. You have the Iron Bowl coming up in 3 weeks. And my son has his first wrestling match coming up on Saturday at Buckhorn.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys were not ready for Thanksgiving, like I am not, make sure,
like, oh crap,
take advantage of Big Zone deals, because once that day hits, was it the 25th? It's always the 25th, right?
No, it's always on like a Thursday. It's it kind of moves around.
Gotcha.
It's actually not even the 25th. It'll be the 27th actually.
Okay, 27th.
Yeah,
this
27th.
year.
25th is a Tuesday.
If you don't have that turkey or chicken ready, whatever you cook, make sure you guys have Big Zone deals ready, because you can get all of the amazing places around the area, like Bad Daddy's, Corlejos. I mean, the list goes on. You can get it for 50% off. And of course, you could take care of that Thanksgiving dinner. But try and remember, it'd probably be good if you remember that turkey. Either way, always remembering to hop on with us, tell us a little bit about the Auburn Tigers, is Ike Jones from the War Rapport, as he joins us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ike, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm all right.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It's a lot more beautiful the last couple of weeks, hasn't it been?
Ah, man. Joe, I was wondering how gleeful you were about the offensive output that happened in this last game. I don't know that I have to ask, but I'm sure that you just
I will tell you that I watched that game, and it was the first time in 3 years that I watched it, and I was actively, cheering for Auburn to win, but also sitting back, and I told John, and we talked about it on Mondays, is that was the first time that Auburn had lost a game where I was like genuinely heartbroken for them to lose a game. Like the other losses were like, all right, good, they lost. Like, let's go ahead and get this done so we can get it out. This one though, and I could be wrong on this, I felt like within the Auburn fan base, as well as the team on the field themselves, you saw a lot more energy. You saw a lot more effort. You saw a lot more passion. It looked like a team that was playing with the weight lifted off their shoulders. And I could be wrong, but I mean, what did you see?
I definitely feel like it has re-energized the fan base a bit and the team. This season has not gone as anyone had hoped, if you were not someone wishing for the downfall of Hugh Freeze. However, I did see a lot of juice out there. Just hated that the defense, for the first time this year, could not hold the team under 24 points, because Auburn would have walked away with a very convincing.
So and then the obvious question with that obviously is, the interim head coach is the defensive coordinator, and people are wondering, are those things connected? That he was having to focus more on head coaching duties, and that's the reason why the defense didn't play up to the standard that they had all season. What do you think?
I think that there is some validity to that. I think there are some correlations. But talking to him after the game and hearing his comments subsequent to that, Vanderbilt just did a lot of things that they hadn't shown on film. So it wasn't that he was too divided in his preparation. It was that, they didn't really have an answer for something that they hadn't anticipated Vanderbilt doing, which is spreading it out a lot more than they had typically and going with a lot more tempo than they typically had. So it just wasn't a really great game plan for that, and they didn't pivot effectively enough to be able to try to do something different to stop what they saw from that Vanderbilt offense.
Well, at the beginning of this game, it was interesting because it looked like it was just going to be, this is exactly what everybody wanted, an Auburn offense that's working, and the defense was doing just the same. At one point, we were looking at a score that showed that Auburn was going to take away, everything that Vanderbilt was doing on offense throughout the season. But it obviously doesn't carry over whenever you look at the 28 points scored in the second half. And then the overtime, of course, where Auburn kind of just wasn't able to put points on the board. But, the first half of that game, that is what we should have been seeing this entire season with Hugh Freeze as the coach. What was the main reason for why Hugh Freeze wasn't able to get this offense going, and why did it take so long to get Ashton Daniels in there?
So this is something that I have said repeatedly. For whatever reason, Hugh Freeze was unwilling to be who he's always been offensively. The offense that you saw is actually Hugh's offense. Like, they didn't install new stuff for this game.
Mm-hmm.
They're running the stuff that is part of what is in the offense. They just weren't doing it for whatever reason when he was the play caller. I don't have an answer for that. And that is, at this point, I'm starting to creep over into the camp of the people who are like, I think he was coaching for the buyout at this point. It's like, you can't, I just don't understand why you have the answers offensively and you refuse to use them.
Like he's sitting there and he's playing golf and he's like, this is actually a lot more fun than having to go in there and do it. Like, what can I do to make sure that this is all I have to do? And that also brings me to some of the stories that we've heard since he's been let go about, the way that Freeze would call plays in, about how, he was calling plays in that they hadn't practiced in weeks or months. And then the other part about Durkin going in and totally changing how the game plan is as far as how they prep for the game, so that both the offense and defense know what they're doing going into the game so that they're more prepared. Is that stuff, did that really happen? Or is that just message board people that say they know somebody that knows somebody?
I have heard very similar stories to the play calling on game day, to the kind of lack of focus in game week preparation. It paints a very sinister picture, and is why I don't know if you guys have seen, but Mike G, who is a part of our organization, reported out in the wake of the Hugh Freeze firing that the Auburn administration is attempting to negotiate down the buyout for Coach Hugh Freeze, because they do feel as if there might have been some coaching malpractice that's happening. So that is an active conversation right now with Coach Freeze's camp and the Auburn administration.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a whole other level to it. Then.
Oh my God, this makes me so happy.
Well,
okay, so wait, what kind of coaching malpractice are we talking about? Is there any details on that, or is that just a very
just to the extent of not really sure that he was doing all of the things that he had promised that he would be able to deliver.
Yeah.
And as indicated by a lot of things that have come out in the wake of this, again, about the way in which the team had been prepared. It just doesn't seem as if Auburn got their money's worth, essentially. And so they're in talks about ways in which they can recoup some of that money that they don't have to pay.
Yeah. Well, definitely did not get your money's worth. Of course, we saw it plenty of times with the quarterbacks. And now Ashton Daniels goes and he balls out. 353 yards, 2 touchdowns. The kid looks like a pretty high talent. And you know what? He can run the ball quite a bit as well. He had the most carries in this game, 18 for 89. Wasn't above Jeremiah Cobb, but he was running this offense. He looked comfortable. And just think about how crazy this is from one week to another. And they're both losses. Losing to Kentucky and losing to Auburn, it almost or losing to Vanderbilt, it feels like this one is a win regardless. And then you see what Kentucky does to Florida. I mean, it's just like, where are their seasons at? But I mean, Ashton Daniels is looking pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he performed to the level at which you would hope a guy who has had as many starts as he has in Power 4 football coming over to your team would be able to, if asked to step in and handle the duties of a starting quarterback. He's an intelligent guy, got a lot of athleticism. There were some issues with accuracy coming in that people had or thought might creep up, but when you're asking him to be quick and decisive, he's able to do that. And then you've got some of the most talented. Again, something I've been saying since the offseason. We have some of the most talented wide receivers in the country being grossly misutilized so far this season. But you see what happens when you just go out and give playmakers opportunities to make plays, and that's all anyone thought that the Auburn quarterback needed to be able to do. Ashton Daniels did that effectively.
And looking at the defense, I know there was one blown coverage in the third quarter, like halfway through, and we saw, that was whenever Vandy finally got the lead. It does. I don't want to throw it all at DJ Durkin and not having responsibility over just the defense. But I mean, how did you feel about this defensive performance? Where do you think those flaws really showed for a defense that has been holding a majority of these Vanderbilt or SEC squads to under 30 points?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the pass defense just hasn't been good for the vast majority of the season. And there were just some assignment issues, particularly when Vanderbilt started to go with tempo with them getting lined up and figuring out what they need to do. And some of the young linebackers were just not in good gap responsibility. When you're playing a team like Vanderbilt that has a lot of eye candy, motion, and things like that, like assignment sound is the only way that you win. And there were guys, I think, trying to do a little too much. They were juiced up, a lot of adrenaline. You're trying to go out there and make every play. And it's like, that's not your play to make. That's the other guy's play. You need to be here in this gap. And an experienced quarterback like Diego Pavia, who has been in this system for 32 years now. I don't know what year he's in college, knows how to take advantage of mistakes when you're not sound in your assignment.
I think he was classmates with Mr. Vanderbilt, to be honest with you. And I now looking at this offense and this team all together, because Cam Coleman had a massive, I mean, this looked like the Cam Coleman that Auburn fans have been wanting and hoping they'd see for 2 straight years. And it's not like he's played bad. It's just, this was one of those like, oh, there's the number 1 wide receiver in a draft somewhere playing right now. With the thought is obviously with the way that the NCAA has changed the transfer portal rules and, the way players can, let the emotion kind of die down a little bit before deciding if they're going to transfer, is he the most important cog in whoever becomes the next head coach and keeping him on board and trying to get the rest of the players on board with the new coach?
I honestly think it's the quarterback position, right? Like Cam Coleman is going to go as the decision goes with quarterback. He is, he just wants to be able to do what he did Saturday. And if you're not going to have an offense and a quarterback that allows him to do that, then he's going to find somewhere that will. So I think a lot of these young guys want to be able to play with a guy like Deuce Knight. They actually came in wanting to play with Walker White, who's no longer here. They sold him on Deuce Knight as the next heir apparent. They sold him on John Jackson all as the next heir apparent. They have yet to be rewarded with a quarterback that actually lives up to that. Saw glimpses of it Saturday. They need to be able to repeat that performance again versus Mercer and Alabama offensively to make them believe that they're moving in the right direction. But I think Cam Coleman absolutely is critical, but he is going to go as whomever the next offensive guy is and that quarterback attached to him, though.
Well, and you mentioned the Deuce Knight. We're at a point now where, I mean, really, he could play in the next couple of games and it's still not going to affect a red shirt. Could we see him against Mercer?
I think that is going to be the plan. I don't have any confirmation of that, but I think that is what makes the most sense, is to allow him to be able to play versus Mercer, because I do think that they still actively want to preserve Ashton Daniels' eligibility for next season as well, whether he's in an Auburn uniform or he decides to go elsewhere.
Wow.
So Ashton Daniels cannot play in both of the next 2 games and keep his eligibility. So they have a decision to make in regard to him as well.
That's a great point.
So you're talking about not just playing, but starting.
potentially starting Bruce Knight is on the table yet.
Oh, now see, this is what Auburn fans want.
It seems like it's coming together, but I mean,
I
obviously a
love
little
it when
too
a
late.
plan comes together.
But now it's getting people excited for 2026.
Heck, it's just getting me excited on a Saturday, dude. You don't realize I've not been excited for an Auburn football game in 3 years.
Yeah, it's sad. You'll take the 3 at the end of the season.
I genuinely was. Like, I've been more excited about the Vandy game, the Mercer game, and the Bama game than I have been for all the other games that Hugh Freeze coached combined. I'm genuinely serious on this. And so now you're giving me this news, and I'm thinking, well, if this Deuce Knight plan works out, then you start looking at the Alabama game, and who knows at a plan that they could put together, which is funny that you said earlier, Auburn is now running Hugh Freeze's offense better than what they were running when Hugh Freeze was the head coach.
Right.
It definitely is very wild. Ike Jones from the War Rapport is our guest, and not wrong. We are very excited about what's coming up for Auburn football. It really just took one firing to do so, but it will take one hiring as well. And of course, John Cohen's going to be in charge of that. He brought up, right after the Alabama game, and I know you guys are going to be getting involved with him here in the later hours of the day. Talk a little bit about what we might hear from that conversation.
Yeah, so again, my colleague Mike G sat down with John Cohen yesterday. That interview is going live on our YouTube channel here at 11 a.m. Central, if I'm not mistaken. But he did talk to him about kind of where John Cohen is in the process of looking at potential candidates and who and what would be the composition of the kind of coach that Auburn would be looking for their next head coach, and the topic of how much money Auburn's willing to spend and what types of candidates have expressed interest are all involved there. And as all indications from John Cohen are, Auburn's willing to do what it takes to get the guy that they want financially. So I think they're going to swing for the fences on this one and make a guy tell them no.
Definitely be interesting to see what exactly is coming with that. And then finally for you, Ike, basketball getting underway yet again tonight, playing against the Wolford Terriers. Not into the full-fledged of things, but you do have a pretty solid newly number one ranked Houston team that you guys are going to be seeing here in just a few days. Talk about what you've seen so far from the basketball team and what's got you excited so far.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is it's okay, but this is not the team that I was excited about last year, particularly just the way in which they've come together so far. And I mean, listen, it's a tough task because you really only had one returning player come back with Sahad Pettiford, and everyone else is still trying to figure out how to play the style of basketball that now Coach Stephen Pearl wants to be able to play. Not drastically different from what Bruce Pearl would have employed for this team, but definitely different. The rotations are different this year, and they just really don't have an identity yet as an offense outside of Keyshawn Hall being an absolute beast of a bucket out there. Still waiting on Sahad Pettiford to really emerge as an offensive threat. I think he's trying to get his feet wet as a lead guard that's out there really getting everybody involved. But that secondary scoring threat has not emerged for Auburn yet, and they have not been consistent enough on the defensive end, I think, yet to kind of weather the storm of not having offense together.
Before we let you go, we saw an article earlier today about how John Cohen talked with some people in Birmingham, I believe yesterday, and he even said that his goal is to have a brand new head coach the day after the Iron Bowl. Do you think that's realistic?
I think it's about who is in the process by that point in time in the conversations of contract and where their seasons are. Right. So if it's someone who has some postseason stuff going on, i.e., if that coach is headed to a playoff situation, then that it would extend beyond that. But I do think that most of the candidates that I've heard rumor of are not in a playoff situation. They may be going to a bowl game, but probably not playoff. So it's realistic, but it's going to come down to some numbers, I think, for some of these guys. And listen, it's a fierce competition out there for coaching talent because you've got the likes of LSU, Florida, Penn State that are all also looking for coaches. And those will be the only things that I think could be in the same conversation as Auburn with some of these guys as far as numbers might be concerned. So not unrealistic, but a lot of stuff has to shake out properly between those camps to make it happen in that time frame.
It's okay. They're all going to get Lane Kiffin. You guys just got to figure out somebody that's not Lane Kiffin, and then it'll all
No, Auburn's getting Lane Kiffin too. He's going to coach Auburn on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, he's going to coach Florida. Fridays is going to be LSU, and then after that, he's going to coach on Saturdays during the game at Penn State.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Greg Sankey's going to love that idea. Ike, let the people know where they can find all of your guys' work, as well as that awesome interview you guys had with John Cohen on your network.
Yeah, absolutely. You can head over to the YouTube and search the War Rapport. You can go to the website, warrapport.com, and then you can also follow us on Twitter. We are at the War Rapport. It's really simple, same in all those places. And I'm TWR Ike Jones. If you want to hear me rant and rave about random things, you can find me there.
Yes, sir. Ike, always great having you on. Appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to that conversation.
Massive information.
Yes, indeed. You guys have a great day.
Oh, it's good. It's even better now.
Always great.
It's amazing. Now Ike is putting smiles on my face. Like he actually absolutely is giving me a smile every single day now.
Look, all right. I know he's had to go through a lot this year, last year, the year before that, but I think now they can turn tide. All right. Not the Crimson Tide, because the Crimson Tide are going to win that game. But they do pose a little bit more of a challenge. And just imagine this, all right? Their offense was rolling. This is like their first true game you could throw out with DJ Durkin. Then they're going to try and clean it up against Mercer. Hopefully not try too many different things. Of course, we'd like to see a little bit of Deuce Knight.
It sounds like it's just going to be the Deuce Knight game.
But then on the Iron Bowl, think about all the things that they can get figured out by the Iron Bowl. That's going to be one hell of a game, Joe.
Well, okay, so a couple of things with that is obviously the Deuce Knight part of this. If Auburn were to, I'm not saying they're going to, if they were to upset Alabama in the Iron Bowl, depending on who the quarterback was in that game, that would then make you have to make a decision about the bowl season, because one of the two quarterbacks would have to play in a bowl game. See, right now,
I'd be going Deuce Knight again.
And I don't think Deuce Knight has officially played. Has he stepped on the field at all? Like, I'm trying to remember if he has. Like,
he stepped on the field early in the season, but he hasn't. I don't think
he's only played in one game.
Yeah, I don't think he's had enough games to where it might destroy his eligibility.
Like he hasn't gotten to the 4.
But bowl game,
just yet.
If bowl game season happens, then you're definitely going to want to see Deuce Knight come on.
So Deuce has played in one game this year. Okay. And so
this would be his second at Mercer.
Exactly. So he played in the Ball State game. He went 2 of 5 passing there for 20 yards. And I mean, it's 42-3.
Yeah.
So that means that he has 3 games left. Ashton Daniels only has 1 game left. Mm-hmm. So that would then mean that depending on how well Deuce plays in the Mercer game, what his usage would be in the Alabama game, and then the entire bowl game would be his.
I don't think you throw him at the Crimson Tide. I think you throw Ashton Daniels at the Crimson Tide, then you throw Deuce Knight at the bowl game. I mean, there you go. I mean, it wraps up perfectly. I understand that it is a weird thing to kind of juggle as a head coach, but right now,
this is also probably the first time we've ever actually had to have this conversation, because majority of the time by this point in time of the year, if you're playing, you're playing.
Yeah, screw it. Let's just throw Jackson Arnold out there against Alabama. You know?
God, no. Now I don't even want Jackson Arnold dressed out. Can we go ahead and just say that he has an injury?
He's the only one that officially cannot come back next year. All right.
I mean, honestly, it's just, if he just needs to come in on the quarterback runs right up the middle, just so that he can get hit.
Even though he also has a lot of eligibility left for college football, he just can't come back for Auburn.
No, there's no reason you even. I mean, his card to get into the room should not be working right now. They should have changed the code.
Yeah, it's declined actually.
Exactly. Like, nothing for Jackson Arnold should be working at this point in time. He should be that third quarterback, like in the NFL, that his only usage is going to be in a very emergency situation.
Hey, yo, give me that purple Gatorade.
Exactly. Like, it is an emergency. No, yeah, because you know what's going to happen? He's going to throw it to the player, and he's going to throw it above their head. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to overthrow his receiver.
Just hand it off to me. He starts running
running with it himself. Like, that's what this is. So now you're Auburn fans. The only reason now you're excited to watch the Mercer game is because you want to see truly how competent Deuce Knight looks. And apparently the Hugh Freeze offense, because he just gave us a bunch of nuggets. The fact that Auburn's still running Hugh Freeze's offense and that it's being ran better now since he's left than when he was there.
And it's so pass heavy. You wouldn't have thought about it. It is so pass heavy.
That some believe that Auburn and Hugh Freeze was actually coaching for the buyout. And the third part, is that Auburn is trying to renegotiate with Hugh Freeze.
That's wild.
For coaching malpractice. Like, not a joke. Coaching malpractice.
Oh, it seems like a joke. I mean, oh my god.
Like, Brian Kelly just filed a lawsuit.
The guy went to the golf course the day after he got fired, Joe.
No, he went to the golf course the day he did get fired.
He went to the golf course the day he got fired,
probably
Joe.
so.
Guy was ready to freaking play.
I mean, well, he did
all 18 holes. He was playing 9 before. He's playing all 18.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying is
twice.
He wasn't kidding. Like, we joke a lot about coaching malpractice. This is coaching malpractice, which apparently now it really was.
We thought Dirtneck was doing some of that stuff, but apparently not.
And I want to know what the coaching malpractice was that Auburn is saying that Hugh Freeze promised and he didn't deliver.
Joe, I think you already said it, bro. He was throwing out plays that they weren't practicing for months. I mean, it's that's how it is.
I wonder if it was like in his contract, he said he would beat Alabama 1 or 2 times or something. And they're like, well, that didn't happen. He's going to finish in the top half of the SEC standings.
I get Hugh Freeze is pretty dumb, but I don't think he's that dumb.
But that's why I'm curious. How can you genuinely renegotiate a buyout for coaching malpractice?
What was Auburn's record against out-of-conference opponents? Because that would be something. He's like, I will go undefeated, even though he didn't.
I mean, they beat Ball State, they beat South Alabama,
they lost
beat
to
Baylor.
California his first year.
Yeah, Cal was. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh wait, they didn't lose to him. They got it. It was almost a loss.
They won in Cal. They lost at home to Cal.
Oh, did they lose? Oh, they did lose last year.
They won in Cal.
Okay. That's why I'm getting the
They
mix
lost
up.
at home to Cal.
I think that was Maryland, but that was in the Music City Bowl.
Yeah, that one that was the Tua Tagovailoa brother game.
We got to hop into a break. When we come back, close out this edition of the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as well as your phone calls, as you can tell right to the left of me. We'll be back.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land.
Last segment, best segment, last minute, best minute. That's over with. We're done. Tomorrow we'll do Dog of the Week. We'll also have your cover 5 as well, and we'll recap Auburn's win over Wofford because we know that's happening. But more importantly, we'll also get you ready for Alabama and Purdue. That's going to be happening Thursday night.
Huge. I'm definitely going to be getting a Purdue guy. We're also going to be talking a little bit of Alabama tomorrow. And who knows, RJ White from Sportsline.com might be joining us as well to give us all the information on the pro scene as well. But for me and Joe, we got to get the heck out of here, because we got a lot of other things to do, including the Tom Abraham Show. On top of that, The Drive. And tomorrow you'll be able to catch Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Till next time. Peace.
Bye, love you.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the play.